Dr. Koti Reddy, the Professor and Dean of ICFAI, School of Social Sciences, IFHE Hyderabad.
The topic for today's presentation is regional disparities and balanced development. India is facing the problem of acute regional imbalances, and the indicators of such imbalances are reflected by the factors like per capita income, and per capita income they varies across the states, the proportion of population living below the poverty line, the percentage of urban population to the total population, percentage of working population engaged in agriculture, percentage of workers engaged in industries, infrastructural development. A region may be known economically backward because we used to treat some of the regions as economically backward. So it is indicated by symptoms like excessive pressure of population on land. So in those states, the majority of the population might be depending on agriculture, too much dependence on agriculture, high incidence of rural employment and the underemployment, low productivity in agriculture and cottage industry, low urbanization, absence of basic infrastructural facilities. So a region may be known as economically backward as it is indicated by symptoms such as too much dependence on agriculture, low productivity in agriculture, low urbanization, and absence of basic infrastructural facilities. As far as the per capita income is concerned, in 2024, Sikkim recorded with highest per capita income, followed by Goa and Delhi. So from this we can say there were more variations in terms of per capita income across the states. Bihar has the lowest per capita income among Indian states. Jharkhand, Assam, Uttar Pradesh also relatively have lower per capita incomes compared to other states. In 2024, states with per capita income below the national average. For example, if you take Bihar, Jharkhand, Assam, the per capita income of these states was lower than the national average. But on the other hand, if you take the states such as Telangana, Delhi, and Haryana, so the per capita incomes of these states were significantly above the national average. So we have seen variations in terms of per capita income across the states. On the other hand, as far as the agriculture development is concerned, the entire agricultural development was concentrated in the states of Punjab, Haryana, and part of Uttar Pradesh. These three states had recorded a high rate of agricultural productivity due to its high proportion of irrigated area. So in these three states, we can observe more proportion of land under irrigation facility. So as a result, these three states have witnessed higher agriculture production and productivity as compared with other states in the country. Before independence, West Bengal and Maharashtra were the two most industrialized states because Britishers focused more on some of the areas where more raw material is available. So as a result, West Bengal and Maharashtra were the two most industrialized states before independence. But after independence, for example, now if you observe Gujarat, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, these three states have developed the industrial sector considerably by developing industrial units of all different sizes. Now these three states have become industrialized states in the country. So that much of progress that have been achieved as far as the industrialization is concerned after independence, though we have achieved the industrialization, there were variations in terms of the industrial development across the states. As part of poverty, as of 2023, states such as Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. Just to see, for example, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. In these four states, the higher proportion of people are living below the poverty line. At the same time, as far as the urban population is concerned, because see, the higher proportion of urban population indicates the economic development of the particular state. The states which are maintaining higher percentage of urban population than the national average include. For example, in these states, you will find higher proportion of urban population, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Gujarat, and then followed by Karnataka, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and West Bengal. On the other hand, we will find less urbanization in the states such as Himachal Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Odisha, and Arunachal Pradesh. The per capita consumption of electricity, because it is considered as an important indicator of regional disparities. As because of the availability of the electricity, higher availability of electricity, some states have been developed. In some of the states, per capita consumption of electricity is very low. As a result, these states remained backward. The states such as Punjab, Gujarat, Haryana, Maharashtra, having higher degree of industrialization and mechanization of agriculture, have recorded a higher per capita consumption of electricity than the economically backward states such as Assam, Bihar, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. And the industrially developed states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal. These states are maintaining a higher average daily employment of factory workers per lakh of population. So the daily employment of factory workers per lakh of population is higher in some of the industrialized states as compared to the lower average maintained in industrially backward states like Assam, Odisha, UP, and Rajasthan. So here we have observed the agriculture development was concentrated in some of the states. Industrial development was also concentrated in some of the states. At the same time, the daily employment of factory workers per lakh population also concentrated in some of the industrialized states. And all these things reflects the variation in terms of development, not only across the regions, but also across the states also. Now, in this context, the inclusive growth occupies significance. The balanced regional development. As we have observed regional imbalances across the states, there is a need to achieve balanced regional development. The balanced regional development is crucial for promoting inclusive growth and addressing inequalities within the country or a region. The inclusive growth emphasizes creating opportunities for all individuals to participate in. So all individuals should have access to all kinds of facilities, and the fruits of economic development should reach to all sections of the people, and no one in the society uh, cannot be neglected from the fruits of the benefits. So creating opportunities for all individuals to participate in and benefit from the growth process. So everyone should get benefited from the growth process regardless of their socio-economic background, gender, ethnicity, or location. And once we focus on balanced regional development, for example, since independence, the government of India has come up with various programs to achieve the balanced regional development, and the backward regions were taken care of by the government with different programs. As a result, now we have been observing the access to the all kinds of healthcare, education, employment, and essential services for all individuals in the society. And the regional disparities generally occur in terms of income. At the beginning, we have seen that in terms of per capita income, we have seen variations across the states. Employment opportunities, in that case also, we have seen the variations across the states. Infrastructure facilities, and some states have been developed in terms of infrastructure. Such states have achieved industrialization, education, and healthcare, and overall quality of life. Actually, these are the indicators for regional disparities. If you take western and southern states in India, western and southern states such as Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka have historically achieved higher economic growth compared to eastern and northern states like Bihar, Odisha, and Uttar Pradesh. Now here we can highlight the importance of infrastructure facilities available. So from this we can say more physical and social infrastructure is available in the regions of the southern region and western region, And in terms of physical and social infrastructure, eastern states and northeastern states were lagging behind. Thereby, we have been observing regional imbalances in the country. And during the British rule, three cities have been developed as port cities. For example, Mumbai, Madras, and Calcutta. The development of port towns of Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta, and then these three cities have in turn worked as centers for the development of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal. So, as because of development of these cities as port towns, the concerned state governments such as Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal have become the industrially advanced states in the country. On the other hand, the areas having natural advantages in the form of natural resources. Some states are having some advantage in terms of availability of natural resource, such as Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Rajasthan. So the areas having natural advantage in the form of natural resource, such as Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Rajasthan, have lagged far behind in the process of economic development. Actually, in the process of economic development, there should be proper utilization of the availability of natural and capital resources in the country. Though natural resources are available in plenty, the optimum utilization of resources plays an important role in terms of achieving the economic development. Now, if we observe the types of backward areas, we will find economically backward areas. As far as the economically backward areas are concerned, these are the areas where the per capita income is below the national average. For example, if you observe the states such as Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Meghalaya, and Assam, the per capita income of these states, it was lower than the national average. So these states, these areas comes under economically backward areas. As far as the socially backward areas are concerned, these are the areas where social indicators such as literacy, health facility, nutrition are below the national average. For example, if you observe some of the districts in the states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha, in these districts, the health indicators, the progress of health indicators was lower than the national average. And infrastructure backward areas. So the infrastructure facilities available in some of the states are not adequate for achieving the economic development. And for accelerating the economic development, the more infrastructural facilities have to be created. And if you take the facilities such as roads, electricity, and water supply is inadequate in some of the states of the country. And geographically backward area. For example, we will find the remote areas, hilly areas, and difficult terrain areas. These are the various examples of backward area. So from this we came to know, and if you divide the backward areas, just if you segregate the backward areas, you will find some of the areas are economically backward, some areas are socially backward. Socially backward means, as I have already mentioned, in terms of literacy, health, and nutrition, their status was lower than the national average. And some states are lagging behind in terms of infrastructure facilities, and some areas are remote areas, hilly areas, or have difficult terrain. These are all geographically backward areas. And the next one, for example, if you observe Bundelkhand region, this region spans across the states of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. So Bundelkhand region spans across the states of Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh and is characterized by poverty, low agricultural productivity, and inadequate infrastructure. So particularly these are the characteristics of Bundelkhand region. There you will find more poverty, higher proportion of people are living below the poverty line, and agriculture productivity is also very low, and infrastructure facilities are also very low. And the next one, the Rayalaseema region in Andhra Pradesh. The Rayalaseema region is known for water scarcity, droughts, and low agricultural productivity. And Kalahandi, Balangir, Koraput region. This region is in Odisha, and in this region you will find more poverty and low literacy rate and inadequate healthcare facilities. So these are the various examples for the backward areas. And while examining the impact of balanced regional development on inclusive growth, because at the beginning I have clarified balanced regional development is crucial for achieving the inclusive growth in the country. So if you observe rural urban disparities, in urban areas 92.7% of population has access to electricity. So 92.7% of population in urban areas have access to electricity, while in rural area only 55.3% of the population they have access to electricity. So here you've seen in terms of availability of electricity, you've seen disparities between urban area and rural area. The rural urban disparity in standard of living is concerned, it is highest in Jharkhand and Odisha. So there you will find disparity in terms of standard of living. Disparity in terms of standard of living between rural and urban area is highest in Jharkhand and Odisha and lowest in Punjab and Kerala. So as far as the Jharkhand and Odisha is concerned, the standard of living in urban areas is more as compared with the rural areas. And the monthly per capita consumption expenditure. Generally, our per capita consumption expenditure depends upon the income level. It is higher in urban area as compared with the rural areas. So it clearly reflects the economic activities have been concentrated in urban areas of the country. As a result, monthly per capita consumption expenditure is highest in urban area as compared with the rural area. But in the recent years, if you observe in the last decade, the gap between urban and rural monthly per capita consumption expenditure decreased from 84% to 75%. Though the gap has been decreased, still the gap was at 75%. So as far as the monthly per capita consumption expenditure is concerned, the gap between rural and urban area was at 75%. It clearly reflects the inequality in terms of the monthly per capita consumption expenditure between urban area and rural area. And labor force participation rate. It is more in rural area than urban area, but slightly in both rural and urban areas, the labor force participation rate is slightly rising in the rising in the last decade. And the per capita availability of primary schools and healthcare were higher in rural area. So compared to urban area, per capita availability of primary schools, because most of the state governments have set up primary schools in villages, even in the remote villages also, primary schools were set up. And at the same time, healthcare facilities in the form of primary establishing primary health centers. See, everywhere we will find in most of the villages we will find in the country primary health centers. So in terms of availability of primary schools and healthcare centers, we find more primary health centers and primary schools in rural area as compared with the urban area. Rural areas showed larger spatial heterogeneity in accessibility, and greater accessibility to social infrastructure is more in urban area. Social infrastructure means you are aware. For example, education facility, health facility, in terms of drinking water and housing facility. So these sanitation also. So social infrastructure facilities are more, its availability is more in urban area as compared with rural area. On the other hand, rural areas are experiencing the problems of, actually they are experiencing dual challenges of infrastructure deficit, because we are all aware the rural areas are lagging behind in terms of infrastructure development on one hand, and at the same time inequalities also. You will find more inequalities among the rural people in terms of income and wealth. So the rural areas are facing such kind of dual problems like infrastructure deficit and inequality. The next one, the pillars of inclusive growth. Already we have seen the concept of inclusive growth, and we have to create opportunity for all individuals in the society, and all people should get benefited from the growth process. The fruits of development should reach to all sections of the people in the system, irrespective of their social background, gender, ethnicity, or location. As far as the pillars of inclusive growth is concerned, economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. Economic growth ensures increased productivity and employment opportunities. And the productivity in the system should be raised and more employment opportunities have to be created. Thereby, economic growth will be accelerated. Social inclusion emphasizes equal access to education, healthcare, and social services. Environmental sustainability ensures that development is pursued in a manner that protects and preserve the environment for future generation. So here we can see from this just we can think about the concept of sustainable development, and the inclusive growth is essential for achieving sustainable development because it ensures that the economic growth is not at the expense of social well-being or environmental sustainability. As far as the steps taken by the balanced regional development and inclusive growth is concerned, here the balanced regional development is crucial for promoting the inclusive growth, and these two concepts would help us to remove regional disparities in economic development. Once the government focuses on addressing the regional imbalances, the economic development will be accelerated. So the whenever the economic development accelerates, all kinds of economic problems will be wiped out. Thereby, everybody will get benefited from the fruits of economic development. Regionally inclusive development strategy. As far as the regionally inclusive development strategy is concerned, the here we have to focus more on infrastructural development, and left-wing extremism hinder development. Left-wing extremism hinders the development. Here we have been observing since independence in see in some areas, in some of the states, we have been observing the problem of Naxalites. So thereby, those areas remain backward in terms of development. In such areas, the government should focus more on the creating both the physical and social infrastructure. So here, the inclusive growth assumes significance. For example, by focusing more on the balanced regional development, by addressing regional imbalances, the inclusive growth can be achieved by the economy. See, the inclusive growth, which ensures the economic benefits are shared equitably, is crucial for achieving sustainable regional development by fostering social cohesion, reducing inequality, and promoting the social development. And the social development and the long-term prosperity for all, not just a select few. So the inclusive growth ensures economic benefits that are shared equitably. So the rise in national income should not be concentrated in the hands of few sections of the people. It should reach to all people in the society. Thereby, the economic equality, that is the income inequality, can be achieved. The steps taken by government to address regional imbalances are concerned. The policy makers recognized that inclusive growth necessitate a sharper focus on slower growing states. See, we have been observing some of the states were lagging behind in terms of both the physical and social infrastructure, and some states were lagging behind in terms of achieving rapid economic progress. So, the inclusive growth necessitates a sharper focus on slower growing states, especially the backward regions in the country. So, in those areas, there is a need to enhance public investments on both the physical and social infrastructure. So, based on the recommendations of the policymakers, the government of India have allocated more resources for backward regions of the country since independence, particularly through five-year plan process. We had a five-year plan process till 2017. The five-year plan process began in India in 2000, in 1951. The first five-year plan began on April 1st, 1951, and the planning process was ended on March 31st, 2017. There, in the place of the five-year plans, particularly Planning Commission used to formulate the five-year plans. In the place of Planning Commission, Niti Aayog came into existence. Okay, that just for the sake of your understanding, just I've explained the concepts of both Planning Commission and the Niti Aayog. So here, the policymakers have advised the government of India to invest more on to invest more investment to invest more amount towards the development of physical and social infrastructure in backward regions of the country. And on the recommendations of the policymakers, the government of India has come up with the special area development programs. Special area development programs. The next one, the central government has been helping the state governments through various transfers to achieve an equalizing level of development. For example, Finance Commission used to recommend grants to the backward regions of the country. So the financial transfers to states have been just we can treat it as the financial transfers under the Finance Commission and direct investments in less developed states. Government of India is investing heavily in less developed states under centrally sponsored schemes. If you observe the centrally sponsored schemes like PM Gram Sadak Yojana, so the government of India is investing heavily on the construction of road facilities in backward regions of the country. More funds have been allocated to backward states under this program. It is a centrally sponsored program. So as I mentioned, direct investment into less developed states under centrally sponsored schemes, PM Gram Sadak Yojana, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, PM Awas Yojana, National Security Assistance Program, Swachh Bharat Mission, PM Krishi Sanchay Yojana, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Food Security Mission, National Health Mission, National Horticulture Mission, Ayushman Yojana, PM Fasal Bima Yojana. These are all various centrally sponsored schemes. Under these schemes, the backward regions are getting adequate funds. And the government of India approved integrated action plan in 2010. Thereby, 60 districts have been benefited, selected tribal and backward districts. So the government of India approved integrated action plan in 2010 for 60 selected tribal and backward districts. And the same scheme has been extended during 12th five-year plan also. The duration of the 12th five-year plan is 2012 to 2017. So during the 12th five-year plan, 88 most backward districts have been covered under this program, under this integrated action plan. Each district was given a financial assistance of 25 to 30 crores. So a financial assistance of 25 to 30 crores has been transferred to each identified district. So here I have already mentioned 88 most backward districts have been identified during the 12th five-year plan, and funds will be placed at the disposal of the committee headed by the district collector. And the backward regions grant fund was one of the widely recognized area development program in its size and reach. So this backward regions grant fund also contributed for the achieving balanced regional development in the country. The program was implemented in 2006-7 in 250 backward districts. Backward Regions Grant Fund. This program has been implemented as an improvement over Rashtriya Sam Vikas Yojana, which was launched in 132 selected districts, of which 100 are backward districts and 32 districts are affected by left extremism in 2003-2004. So the main objective of this program was to reduce infrastructure disparity between rich and poor districts in India. So here I have mentioned the one of the important fund that was launched by Government of India to address regional imbalances. That is Backward Regions Grant Fund. It was introduced in 2006-7 in 250 backward districts, and it was implemented as an improvement over Rashtriya Sam Vikas Yojana. And we have Border Area Development Program also. Border Area Development Program is another centrally sponsored program initiated in border areas of Western region during 1985-1990. So this program also focused more on infrastructural development in the border areas of our country and promotion of security among the border population. So two important things we have to remember as far as border area development program is concerned. Under this program, infrastructure facilities have been created in border areas of our country. Not only infrastructure facilities, promotion of security also was taken up as one of the objective under this scheme. So this program has covered 358 border blocks of 94 border districts of 17 states located along the international land border. And we have Western Ghats Development Program also. Western Ghats Development Program covers two hill districts of Assam. In Assam, two districts were covered. Those two districts are North Kachar and Karbi Aglam. These two districts in Assam and major part of Darjeeling district in West Bengal, Nilgiris district in Tamil Nadu, and 175 taluks of Western Ghats were covered under Western Ghats Development Program. So apart from these policy initiatives, government also has come up with various special programs like Northeastern Region Development. For example, through various budget, the central government has allocated resources for Northeastern for the development of Northeastern states also. So Northeastern Region Development, Rajiv Gandhi Panchayat Sashaktikaran Abhiyan, providing urban amenities to local area. We call it as PURA. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, PM Gram Sadak Yojana, Rajiv Gandhi Gramin Vidyutikaran Yojana, and Total Sanitation Program. And the Niti Aayog, as I mentioned earlier, the Planning Commission was renamed as the Niti Aayog. The Niti Aayog formulated 3-year action plan for backward area development, including North Himalayan states, northeastern states, coastal regions, islands, desert areas, and drought-prone areas. So these are, see, like that, some of the backward areas have been identified. And the one more important step taken up by Government of India is the Aspirational District Program. The Aspirational District Program was launched in January 2018 in 112 most backward districts. Just once again, I am repeating, the Aspirational District Program was launched in January 2018 in 112 most backward districts. It aims to transform districts that have shown relatively lesser progress in key social areas and emerged as pockets of underdevelopment. So the the program wants to transform districts that have shown very little progress in terms of the social aspects. And successful implementation of aspirational district program is the key to India achieving its sustainable development goals. We are towards at the end of the discussion. Now I would like to uh, conclude by saying the if the balanced regional development is to contribute for inclusive growth, because already we have seen that balanced regional development promote inclusive growth, thereby the all people in the society, all individuals in the economy would get the fruits of development. So the balanced development is to contribute for the inclusive growth. The backward states or regions require more investment in their social and infrastructure sectors. As far as the education is concerned, we have achieved some progress. In the last 2 decades, we have seen some progress as far as the education sector is concerned. But the healthcare system should be improved to achieve the better outcomes. Because see, the tertiary health services are concerned, only the 99% of the tertiary health services are available with the private sector only. So the tertiary health services have become more expensive. So as a result, the healthcare system should be improved to achieve the better outcomes. And at the same time, more research and ground level understanding are required to identify the backward regions. Because in my presentation at various say at different times, just I told that different districts, sometimes we have seen 280 districts, 112 districts, like that we have seen the program covers this much of districts, like that. So in order to identify the backward regions, more research and ground level understanding is required. To conclude, regional disparities remain as an alarming issue even today. Still, regional inequalities exist in the country. As I mentioned, only the southern states and the western states are developed as compared with the other states located in other regions of the country. So, In order to tackle this problem, the policy makers have to identify the pockets of underdevelopment and fund according to the local needs. Thank you for giving this